one fucking interview that I've been desperate to get ever since I played Gears of War 1. I'm with Cliffy and we're talking about Gears of War 3. I'm so fucking excited. Anyway.
Wow, you really are excited. You're not faking this, are you?
No, I'm seriously not. When the press conference was on, Gears of War 3 came on, my Twitter just blew up with people going, I bet Phoenix is losing her fucking mind over this.
I was reading the forums and the Twitter feed,
yeah.
and they're all just like, Ice-T! I'm like, good problem to have, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. But no, I'm being really excited. So this is a big thing for me. So let's kick it off with the story. Now, I've read the books, loved them. Anvil Gate was the very third book. It took off exactly where Gears of War 2, the game, ended. So let's talk a bit about that, because it introduces a few new characters, like Sam. And it sort of sees the end start towards the end of the Coalition. Things are really going downhill.
Yeah, well, the beauty at this point is that we have the books to kind of bridge things between the games, right? And the game's kind of been a downward spiral. The series has been a downward spiral for the characters, right? And it's kind of one of those everything I touch turns to shit type things, right? That's kind of what happens to Marcus, right? It's like, okay, well, we're gonna, sink Jacinto, it'll flood the Hollow. No, Locust, just go to the surface, right? Okay, well, what's going on with Emulsion? Is this great energy source? No, it's actually really bad and it's infecting everything, and it's causing them to explode, right? So this couldn't possibly get any worse. So when we start the game, everybody's on a boat, and they think it's safe, right? Because they were over in Vectis, right? And then now they're on the boat on Raven's Nest, essentially a flotilla. And then, of course, the mayhem catches up to them. The boat, well, I don't want to spoil it, but things... there's kind of a theme of homelessness, honestly, I've noticed running throughout the game, right? As far as, like, the Locust being driven out of their home, Jacinto sinking, things like that. We kind of stumble upon these themes, but it works.
Yeah, no, and it works. So far, what we've seen is absolutely fantastic. There hasn't actually been an awful lot of story shown. You guys have been pretty tight-lipped. You've kind of... Beast mode we've seen a lot of, and we've also started to see Horde mode.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoiled that the Leviathan does, in fact, blow up. Right, which is a little bit of a spoiler, but that's the problem with campaign, and like we were talking about earlier, like campaign is something a lot of people write off these days, but it's the thing that sometimes takes the most amount of work to put in, because you have all those custom moments, you have all that story stuff that you put in. I mean, you have to do, all the writing, all the voice acting, and I think we hit some really, really good emotional highs and lows in this one. I have a few cutscenes that have given me chills and maybe a little misty, so I'm a sucker, though.
I cried when Maria died. Like, I was playing on co-op, and you just hear on the headset, are you okay? But
well, there's two types of reactions, right? There's those who think it's a joke and think it's stupid, and then there's those who dig it. And people love to knock our story. But you go to YouTube and you look up the Maria death cinematic, and there's like 500 comments about people saying it made them cry. And again, we're not quite, I'm not the kind of designer who will ever do like a Shadow Colossus or Eco on that kind of cerebral level. Not even of a brilliant Ken Levine type. I'm more of a Michael Bay, Jerry Bruckheimer type guy. But if you get attached to these characters, and if they have to do horrible things, or if any of them die, we're hoping we get a little bit of reaction out of people.
I think what I found with Gears is it's there if you want to find it. Is that how you see it? It's like, if you want to just take this as a balls to the wall, testosterone shooter, great. If you don't, there is story. It's hidden. It's still there.
Yeah, I mean, you take as much as you want, right? And it's one of those things, if you want to skip the cutscenes, fine. If you just want to enjoy shooting and enjoy blowing stuff up, cool. But if you really want to get into it, get tattoos, do the cosplay thing, read the books, right? You can do that, right? Wear the underoos while you're, eating Gyrios, I guess, right?
There are underoos?
There are underpants somewhere, yes.
Need those. Anyway, right, Horde mode 2.0. Now, I absolutely loved Horde mode. I've never been big on PvP, right? I've never been the greatest person in the world, but Horde mode, give me a team of people, much more enjoy it. And we did the whole 40, got the achievement. Yes, great.
Awesome.
But you've made some really big changes.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you say changes, it gets scary. I like to think of it as improvements, right? The first thing to double back for a second is Versus is something that people write off a lot of in Gears, which is why in the beta we had the dedicated servers and we had a respawning game type. When you have a world where people are distracted because they're on websites such as Destructoid, or they're on Twitter and Facebook, they die and they're out in a game and there's 3 minutes, you're going to lose them. So respawning was a very, very big win for us, and also proving to people that, hey, Gears Versus is actually quite a bit of fun. You can respawn now. There's new weapons. It's very well balanced, and it's cool. Now it's time to check out Horde mode. So we added in boss monsters, so if you see a Brumac bearing down and you crap your pants, like multiple Berserkers, you have a Lamet Berserker, the boss waves are really tough, but they're tough in a good way, right? Not throw your controller out the window tough. Then we have deployables, and so you can put down Caltrops, or you can put down razor wire or electric razor wire, things like that. The more you deploy, the more you unlock different deployables. And there's also a money system, so when you kill enemies, cha-ching, you get cash. You can use that cash to purchase new weapons. You can use that to upgrade and repair your fortifications. Then we also have bonus objectives. So occasionally the game's like, get 6 headshots this wave, and if we all get 6 headshots, loot drop, everybody gets boom shots. So there's a bunch of cool stuff like that.
Great. And one kind of final thing is, what's the community response been like? Like, you guys know the community aren't the easiest people to deal with in the world.
If you please them, they will sing your praises, but if you do something wrong, they will tar and feather you and just bury you. The reaction to the beta was great. A few things, there's some spawn killing going on. We've tweaked the maps and have tweaked the code to kind of mitigate that. You're going to have a little bit of that in games, but it's really annoying if somebody ever does that, so we're doing our best to make it bulletproof. The hip fire from the Retro Lancer was too accurate, so now if you play the full game and you hip fire with the Retro, I mean, you're going to be looking at the ceiling in a quarter of a second. It kicks like insanely. So that's been balanced out a little bit. Sawed-off hasn't changed that much, to be honest. The one thing we've done is we added a big old emissive to the tip of it so you can see it coming a mile away. But if somebody gets that close to you, it's your fault for letting them get that close.
Yeah.
Right? And especially with the spawning being improved. And you know what the thing about the gun is? It lets the little guy have a kill.
Yeah.
We looked at the stats, and the Gnasher was still out killing the Sawed-off by a ratio of 4 to 1. Yeah. And the stats do not lie. Actually, I have a question I want to reverse to you.
Yeah.
You're a female Gears fan.
Yes.
I'm trying to solve the mystery of why, for some reason, Gears seems to be the preferred shooter for a lot of girls.
I found that the community in it was a lot better, and I didn't get a lot less abuse from playing Gears than I did from playing anything else. Cool. But because it came with a story and a deep campaign, it was viewed in a lot nicer light, with things like COD, for example. No one gives a shit. The story is irrelevant. It's a multiplayer, and I
love COD, but I just forget who I am a lot. Wait, I'm first. Am I Ghost now? I don't know. But it's cool that you say that, and it's just one thing. Like when I go to conferences and I meet journos and I meet fans and girls who have tattoos of the Crimson Omen on their neck. When we were going to the third one, I felt a personal obligation to make sure that the girl characters were, attractive, but didn't look like hookers, because the video game industry has a tendency to kind of really do that. And I'm really happy, looking what they're doing with Tomb Raider and how Lara is attractive, but she doesn't look like a stripper prostitute, like plastic surgery.
Bernie's my favorite.
Yeah, Bernie's great.
Absolutely, her character in the book was how, if anyone reads the books, you really should. A strong female, older, not like young, and just wild and
she's not like that.
Yeah,
right?
No.
But she's got the cat boot for going on and everything.
Cat lady.
Yeah, you'll see.
Boomer lady.
Yeah, and she's got the kind of like the dreads that actually physics when you play as her. She looks great in the game.
That's one character. But actually, one more.
Yeah.
Baird. Not much Baird in this game. Massive Baird. From what I've seen, he's hardly in the pictures, and a little bit of him there.
Well, I mean, maybe something happens to him, or maybe not. You never know.
No, don't, because I was always saved Team Carmine.
Maybe we'll get a little bit of Beatles type mystery going on as far as John and Ringo being dead. Who knows, right?
Don't kill Baird. Anyway, thank you so much. Seriously, this has just made my E3. Great. The community will know what I mean. I was very excited. So fuck you, Scoville. This is a great game.